Huntington's disease is an inherited genetic disorder that affects 1 in every 10,000 people. That means in the US alone, there are around 30,000 cases of those affected. Those with the disease will experience severe degeneration of nerve cells in the brain that often lead to loss of function in many key parts. In almost every case, anyone that has Huntington's is guaranteed to die prematurely due to the disease. Symptoms that often ensue after enough time has passed often include cognitive and psychiatric impairments, which are oftentimes followed by disorders that affect movement. This debilitating disease is caused by mutations in the HTT gene. This gene gives information on how to make the protein called Huntington, whose specific function is unknown, but it is shown to have a very important role in the function of nerve cells in the brain. The gene is comprised of a CAG trinucleotide repeat, in other words, a repeat of cytosine, adenine, and guanine, respectively, and these form the amino acid glutamine.
In a normal functioning protein, glutamine repeats from 10 to 35 times. A mutated Huntington protein repeats 36 or more times. Those who repeat glutamine expansion 40 times or more will always develop Huntington's, while these who have an expansion under 40 will not develop it, but have the ability to pass a functional version of HD to their children. Due to glutamine's polar properties, high levels of acid cause HTT molecules to form hydrogen bonds between each other, thus resulting in the abnormal folding of proteins that are tangled and rigid, which form protein aggregates. As these proteins translate, signals indicate that abnormal HTT is present, and enzymes known as cappase break it down into very small segments. Unfortunately, these small fragments can get into the nucleus of cells and promptly result in their death and dysfunction. Huntington's disease causes enlarged ventricles and the degeneration of cerebral nerve tissue and basal ganglia. The enlargement of ventricles causes fluid pressure on the brain, which causes many issues. The deterioration of the basal ganglia causes the loss of voluntary motor movements, and examples of this are control of behaviors and emotions. Children of parents where one has Huntington's have a 50% chance of having the disease. This is because the disease is autosomal dominant, meaning the parent only needs one mutated copy of the HTT gene to develop Huntington's, and by making a Punnett square, one can see that the chance of the dominant gene to pass is as previously stated.
In most cases, symptoms appear 30 to 50 years after birth, hence why the disease has prevailed for so long. The reason being that many often have children and pass the gene on before they know that they have been born with Huntington's. In some cases, parents die before developing symptoms, so it will be very hard to tell if one had the chance to develop the disorder by looking at the family pedigree. As the gene is passed on, the CAG segments increase in length, which results in the disease having a much earlier onset than previous generations. In the end, those with Huntington's are extremely unfortunate and have been dealt a bad card by no fault of their own. As many have sought genetic counseling with the disease, more and more are refraining from having children and possibly condemning them to a lifetime in anticipation of their uncalled death.